Hey, cheers, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good, having a good Sunday. I'm kind of excited about this stream. This is one of the least known categories of Irish whiskey, and yet it's the most produced type of Irish whiskey on the entire island of Ireland. So we're going to have some fun. Hit that like, hit that share, that subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Let me know if you have something in your glass today. I am actually going to start. So first of all, I did not. I thought, I probably have 4 or 5 single grain Irish I could pull to do a stream. Yeah, I've got like 12. So we're not going to be drinking all of that. So I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. But I am starting with honestly one of the best. And we're going to start with 2 stacks single grain double barrel. So that's what I've got in my glass to cheers you all. Actually, it's my first whiskey of the day. It's not my first drink of the day. We had a Shamrock Club meeting, so I've already had a Guinness for the day. I mean, free Guinness. How could you not? Let's see who we have in here. We've got cheers, Anthony, bourbon neophyte. Cheers, all you magnificent Irish whiskey people. Anthony, I have not been home literally all weekend, so if you're going live at 7:30, please drop your link in here, or if one of my mods know that he is, please drop that in here. We got Emily EM C rolls mash early, y'all. Hey Em, how are you doing? We got Orlando, Mr. Mom 310. How are you doing? Oh, Kathy, fighting a head cold. Oh, Kathy, I hope you feel better soon. That's the worst. I had that right around St. Patrick's Day. I made it through St. Patrick's Day, but by that night it hit me. Hey, cheers, Liz. How are you doing? We got Richie Z. How are you doing, Richie? I hope you're doing good. Oh, who else we got? Said hi to Richie. I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody. Everybody saying hi to everybody. Oh, Josh Fritz. Cheers, Josh. How are you doing? Oh, there we go. I have a Teeling single grain that I love. I do like that Teeling single grain. I don't have a bottle of that right now, so I'm gonna have to get another bottle. I think the last one I had was a 13-year Burgundy cask. That's what it was. And that was a great one. I really enjoyed that. Teeling has a lot of good single grain whiskey. A lot of good single grain whiskey. Oh, let's see who we got in here. Hey, and thank you, Eric Gunderson. Cheers to you. Yeah, so we will wrap up. I know, or I'm guessing he's going live. I haven't seen Kilco in here tonight, but Kilco typically goes live at 7. Will definitely be done for Anthony Bourbon neophyte. Cheers, everyone. Also having some 2 stacks double barrel single grain. It's a really, really good bottle. The mash bill on that one, I believe it's 96% corn, 4% malted barley. I think it's 90. It's either 94 or 96. So it's mostly corn, but it's got a really nice finish on it. Hey, cheers, Roger Reese. How are you doing? Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Top Dog. I found out if you change your login name, you can't change back for 14 days. What a mistake. Yeah, that's but it's fun. You'll laugh about it. It's funny. Luckily, I saw your logo, so I knew who it was. Well, cheers to you. All right. So I'm going to keep this one out here as my control because I honestly, before I even get into these, I've never compared these side by side actually. And before I get into them, I'm going to pick this as probably one of my favorites. So Irish single grain. Like I said, most of you have probably tried grain whiskey from Ireland and just not known it. It actually, and that is true, it actually is the most produced type of Irish whiskey. The main time you're going to try grain whiskey, and the reason it is the most produced, is because it is a main component in blended whiskeys like Jameson. Jameson is a blend of single pot still, single grain. Tullamore Dew uses grain whiskey in theirs. And so there's a few things that differentiate grain Irish whiskey. We call it single grain if it's produced at a single distillery. If it's got multiple distilleries, it's just grain whiskey. I've got actually one in my lineup here that is just a grain whiskey. A couple of them actually. So Couple things. One of the key components is that it has to be distilled on a column still. So completely different than I know Ireland really embraces the single pot still, but grain whiskey does have to be produced on the column still, which obviously means a higher ABV. The other thing about grain whiskey is that it can't have more than 30% of a malted grain. Outside of that, it could be made of any grain. The all malted grains, typically the two most prominently used are corn and wheat. Now, corn is by far used the most. You're going to find the majority of the grain whiskeys in Ireland use corn. There are exceptions. The grain whiskey in Tullamore Dew actually is more heavy into the wheat, and I know West Cork uses a lot more wheat. But the vast majority you're going to use corn just because it's readily available and it's cheap. So that's the big reason. And also finishes very well. So you're going to find a very wide variety of finishes with grain whiskey. Hey, cheers, Peter White. And you got Sugar Kitty, meow. Good sir, how are you doing today? So this, yeah, funky ass wheat. Yep, West Cork. Yeah, it is funny that it's like that. Yeah, and as I was reading more about it, I didn't realize that Scotch, their grain whiskey, they rely on wheat a lot more than Irish. Irish uses a lot more grain, but from what I was reading, it sounds like Scotland uses a lot more of the wheat, and it is. It's a little funky. There is no requirement for finishing. So the first one that I poured is the two stacks, this single grain double barrel. It's very good. This is 43% ABV. This has been matured and finished in bourbon cask, Oloroso sherry cask, hence the double barrel. Grain whiskey tends to, and it is the reason that it's used in blended whiskey, has a very light profile, a lot sweeter from the corn. Um, there are it because it's produced on a column still, you can get those higher ABVs. The downside is the finish tends to be a little shorter. Um, Even on the cast strength, and it tends to be, like I said, sweet, fruity. You sometimes don't get those deep complexities like you would get with a single malt or a single pot still. But it's definitely got a place. There are definitely some good offerings of grain whiskey. You're seeing it a lot more as an offering just on its own in a bottle. So let's explore some of these. The first one actually after the two stacks that I poured is one of the first grain whiskey bottles that I have. This is not a single grain. This is just a grain whiskey because this is made from a combination of grain from Great Northern Distillery and Cooley Distillery. And this is J.J. Corey the Hanson. So this one is 46% ABV. This was, I believe, the second bottle released from J.J. Corey, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, this was actually named after the taxman that used to collect the taxes in County Clare. I don't think it was in Coeur Clare, but in County Clare. So also natural color, grain whiskey that has been. This is just a bourbon cask finish. That's all the finish that's on this, and it is very, very light, very, very light. Peter had the two stacks 12-year single grain Moscato finish. Haven't gone back to it. Didn't care for it. Corn for sure. Yeah, I've got another two stacks one here. This was my first grain whiskey. So this is two stacks. This is a 12-year single grain. This was Cooley, and this was called the Crack. And this one was it's 12-year Cooley single grain. It was first fill bourbon, and then it was matured, I'm not sure how long, in a California Madeira cask. And, oh, here it is. 2 year. No, that was a long time. Ooh, that can't be right. Oh, yeah, a year. I'm sorry. A year in the California style Madeira cask. Bottled at 63%. I did not care for this one. We're going to pour it again tonight, and we'll see what I think of it again. Now, This has been open a while. I'm sure that the flavor's not nearly as there as it was because I've had that one a while. But when I first opened it and drank it, I'm like, that is like Thanksgiving corn pudding. Did not care for that. Are 2 Stacks triple distilled? Not all of them. They 2 Stacks actually doesn't do any of the distillation themselves. They just do the maturing and the blending. But I think they have gotten some double distilled malt. There's a lot of double distilled malt out there. The single grains, these coolies, single grain is triple distilled. But I think they have had some double distilled malt. I'll have to look at the one they've got. Actually, I think the one that's up here, the Origin, that is up on my shelf. I have to look at that one, Richie. That one is 100% Irish rye, and that was distilled by Boan. And I don't think that one was triple distilled either. It's a single pot still. I don't quite remember. I'll have to take a look. But good question. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Here's Hey, Marty. Cheers and happy Sunday to you. How are you doing? Independent Joe. Thank you, Joe. Smash that like button. I got my Joe Glenn. I always keep that one for when I'm done streaming, and I usually will pour something to take on my way with me. Oh, no problem. Yeah, that is the one thing. The malt whiskey could be double distilled, but a single grain whiskey will always be triple distilled. Hey, James Morgan, cheers to you. High enzyme grain is the secret, is it not? Yeah. It's one of the reasons corn is used because that is what it takes really well. Takes off really well. It's sweet. It's readily available. I think I got everybody here. Yeah, I think I didn't miss any more questions. Okay. So this one from JJ Corey, like I said, this is actually a blend of 2 different distilleries, the Cooley and the Great Northern. And true to form, this one is like juicy fruit gum. I mean, even on the nose, it's like bananas and like a stick of juicy fruit gum. And on the palate, it's the same thing. I mean, you would swear that you just started chewing a piece of juicy fruit. Really nice. These are great for spring, for summer as it's starting to warm up. And you want a glass of whiskey, but maybe it's too hot to have, like a heavy single malt Irish, heavy sherried finished whiskey. I gravitate more towards these single grains in the summer. And the JJ Corey is a really nice one. I like that one. It's been a bit since I poured that one. And this one actually can't really tell because we were meeting at a bar in downtown Columbus. But Louise signed it. Louise McGuan signed it for me. That was when I'd first met her a few years back. And we met at a little hotel bar. She was had an event in Columbus and was just staying at one of the downtown hotels, and I met her there. And she gifted me a bottle of the Hanson. And I just keep refilling that bottle because I think it's pretty cool. And it's one of the older styles that they did change the style. So you're going to study. Let's open one of the new ones actually. So let me pour a little bit of this one. Compare. So JJ Corey has done a lot of single grain and a lot of different finishes. So I've got a couple more, and I'm not going to pour the third one here. So this one is a 9-year single grain. This is Great Northern. This is finished in a stout, and this is called the Two Farms. And so you see it's a little bit darker finish. So it got the name from the family where they got the beer that they finished this in. So it was finished in an imperial stout cask from Western Herd Brewery in Ireland. And they picked that specific beer because the family that owns Western Herd also has a family farm in County Clare, not far from where JJ Corey and Louise's family farm is. So that's what they called it, the Two Farms. This one is a little, is this higher ABV? This is still 46. 46. That one's 46. That one was done for Ohio, but you can definitely tell the difference. They said single grain is going to be light, but you can definitely tell a slight difference in color. The other bottle that I have from JJ Corey that is a single grain is this one, which is also Great Northern. This one is 50% ABV. This one has been finished in an ex-rye cask from Denmark. So it's called the Danish. So you can see even a different little color here, a little more orangey. Rye is a big one for single grain whiskey to be finished in. I don't know why it's popular, but I have three different bottles of single grain Irish whiskey that were finished in a rye cask of some sort. I actually have, I don't know where they got I have one from Two Stacks. Don't know where they got the rye cask for this one. I don't know if they actually tell. American rye cask. I'm gonna have to ask. I bet Shane would tell me. If I had to guess, I would say it was Wild Turkey, because the 100% Irish rye bottle that I have from Two Stacks there is finished also in an American rye cask, and I did find out that was from Wild Turkey. He said they didn't differentiate what type of Wild Turkey rye cask it was, if it was, if it's 101, if it was rare breed. He said if he had to guess, it was 101, but he didn't recall. But he said it was, he did tell me it was Wild Turkey. So I would have to guess that's probably the same as this one. But it would be guess. All right, let's try this you can definitely get some chocolate on that. You get any 35-year grain whiskey in old refill casks. You should be on to a good night. That sounds amazing, James. That sounds absolutely amazing. I don't know that I've seen actually any grain that old. I don't know if I've seen any grain whiskey that old. I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure it is. Because Cooley had quite a bit of older grain whiskey. This one on the nose, I mean, you can get the chocolate fudge. It's like hot fudge sundae on the nose. You get that fudgy chocolate. So you can definitely pick up that stout cask finish. Yeah, really chocolatey. Still very fruity. It leans more into tropical fruits than like apples, maybe a little bit of pear, but it's going more into like lemon and like peaches with a definite chocolate note to it. Now, one of the best single grain Irish whiskeys that I had, that I wish I still had, but I looked for it, and I'm fairly certain that I finished that bottle off in a different live stream around St. Patrick's Day. Was the Furcullen 15. That one is, if you get a chance to pick that one up, Furcullen 15 single grain Irish whiskey. It's finished in Madeira. That one is brilliant. I'm actually going to probably look and see if I can get another bottle of it here in Ohio. But that one is, I think it's only like $65 for a 15-year Irish whiskey, and it was very, very good. A little lower proof, but just it had a lot going on. It was really, really good. I think you guys are talking Scotch and rum. I need to do another Scotch stream sometime. It's been a bit. It's been a little bit. All right. Let me see what I'm going to go to next here. Ooh, let's do this one. So this is another one that we have that is an Irish single grain. This is Method and Madness Irish single grain. Now, Method and Madness were actually one of the first ones to come out with a single grain. And there's a lot of them now. I have a lot of the JJ Corys and the two stacks. There's also the one for Cullen, Glendalough Double Barrel. That was one of actually the first single grain Irishes on the market. So that one's out there. We've got the one from Method Madness now. There's a lot of different ones. Now this one is 46% ABV. This is finished in virgin Spanish oak casks. And a little bit darker color from the virgin oak. Now, I would love to tell you what the mash bill and everything else on this, but it's Middleton. They're not going to tell you anything. And I did not get a chance to look because honestly, I forgot I even had this bottle till I was setting up the stream 15 minutes before going live. And I had all my bottles up here and I looked over on the floor. Oh, wait, I do have another single grain. I've got some Method Madness. This one is a little different. And I think this is the only one that I have that has had a virgin oak treatment to it. You can definitely tell the difference. So compared to the JJ Cory, well, they're night and day. Let me dump that one out there. The Middleton is tasty. I like the Method Madness. You really haven't seen anything from them in a really long time. I think their last thing they had out was the 3 Japanese casks. So I think it was a Japanese cedarwood. I can't remember what the second one was, and then the 33-year-old Mizunara. And I think that's been the last release for Method Madness, and that's been a few years. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I hope they produce some more stuff. I always really enjoyed it. So it was always something different, It was really something crazy. Oh, cheers, Buffalo Bourbon enthusiasts. Cheers to you. We're drinking some Irish single grain whiskey. We're up to Method and Madness, Irish single grain. So how many of you, and I know a couple of you have bottles of Irish single grain, how many of you had the opportunity to try an Irish single grain whiskey? It is usually one bourbon drinkers that are looking to get into Irish. It is one that if I have a higher proof one, I'll bring out. Because of the flavor, it's sweeter. It is made with corn. Tend to like it. It's just the finish doesn't always hit because it is a shorter finish. But the cast strength bottles usually do pretty well. Yeah, this one has a completely different nose. All those tropical fruits, like I was getting with the JJ Cory, totally different. Yeah, the chocolate one's throwing me off. Dump that one. And you still do get a little bit of little fruity, but you definitely get a little more spice in this one from that virgin oak. This one is a little more pear and apple, a little more of the typical orchard fruits that I'm typically getting. Oh, since JJ Cory was mentioned, but you bought a JJ Cory Hansen. I like it. I do like that one. I haven't come back to that one in a while, but I always enjoy it, and it is super, super fruity. This one is completely different. It's also a little grassy on the nose, too. So on the palate, you do taste that corn coming out. And I don't know the mash bill on this one, but when you drink a single grain Irish, you can usually tell when it's a little heavier on the corn. This one is not, I don't think it's as heavy as the two stacks or the JJ Cory. I think the grassiness could be coming from that wheat. It's because it's a similar note that I get with West Cork. I tend to get that kind of grassy note on that one too. But you still do get the tropical fruit vanilla is starting to come through on that. And the vanilla is one you do tend to get. Oh, it's from the bourbon cask, but this one is not as much vanilla, but it's starting to hit that tropical fruit. And a friend of a friend picked up two of the Method Madness Spanish Oak at half price when he was visiting family in Ireland. Oh, they live next to Middleton Distillery. That's a nice spot to live next to. I like this one. I think of those three, um, their first original three releases, I think the single malt was my least favorite. That's the one I actually don't have a bottle of that one. I do the Ryan malt, but I don't have that one. Um, I like the single pot still a lot from Method Madness as well. I think it's really unique, way different tasting notes than you typically get. Like I said, I'm hoping they'll come out with something again sometime. We'll see. Hopefully. This one is definitely by far the spiciest too. I think this has a little more complexity going on. I think the finish is a little longer. That spice does hold on a little bit. I did. Me and Ben were trying to connect, and unfortunately, um, the next 3 weekends were just I'm so completely booked. From the time that he's actually going to be coming through my area, there was like no way that I was going to meet him this time. I'm hoping maybe finger crossed, depending on what time he's coming back through, I might be able to squeeze in a visit. But he came through here. He hit me up yesterday when when he had hit the state line asking what he should buy. I need to get with him though, because I actually just picked up probably my first purchase of Jack Daniels, which I got a Jack Daniels Heritage barrel, like single barrel. So we'll have to drink that one. Wonder if Middleton has a bar or restaurant. I'd be in there weekly if I live nearby. I don't think they do. I don't know that they do. All the freaking distilleries I've been to in Ireland, Middleton isn't one of them. I've yet to hit Middleton. Of the distilleries I've been to, none of them had a restaurant. But there's always so many nice pubs nearby, honestly, that you would not have to stumble far, Richie, to find a good pub in Ireland. Good bloke to watch maybe Nightmare go with. Oh, he's a good dude. He's been here. He did go live with me once. I think we jumped onto somebody's stream. So yeah, I think he's been here. He got pretty schnockered on because I started pulling out all this cast strength Irish. So I know. I hope he's lurking too. Yeah, we typically when he comes through, we're able to meet up, but our schedule for the next few weeks is pretty crazy. Um, Next weekend is a friend of our, a very good friend of ours, is being installed as president of our local Irish club. You've heard me talk about the Shamrock Club, and that's where I was actually at today because we had a meeting and we had voting and everything. But his installation celebration, there's a big ceremony and dinner is Saturday night. And typically we would go out for my birthday next weekend because my birthday's on the 23rd. But because of that, we moved my birthday back to this weekend because it's the only time we could do it, which meant we had to skip road bowling, Irish road bowling that we had, would have been yesterday morning. So we went to actually to local High Bank Distillery, which is only like 20 minutes from my house. Great food there. Obviously great whiskey. I had a couple pours of the double oak. And had a good meal, hang out with family, and had stuff all today. Next weekend, we've got stuff all next weekend. I've got stuff on Sunday even, and then the weekend after that, my ladies Irish organization has a celebration. We do an event for Derby Day. We do it here in Ohio, but basically everybody comes together. We serve sandwiches, have all kinds of raffles and betting and stuff like that. And I run the bourbon flights. So we do bourbon flights and horse betting. It's kind of fun. So that is the following weekend. So yeah, I'm pretty much busy 3 weekends straight. It's been kind of crazy. And I think we're watching my my sister-in-law's dog, their 3-month-old puppy next weekend. So I'm gonna have 3 of them. That's if you see me Sunday and I look stressed, then you'll know why. Because 3 is kind of a lot. I'm hoping they wear each other out. I think they will. Oh, thank you, James. Yeah, I will be live next Sunday. I'll make sure that I'm live and we'll do birthday. I'll probably bring out some birthday boards. All right, let's go to. Oh, hold on. You know, I'm gonna pour this one because this is one. So you guys all know we went on our trip to Ireland. We got to see Copeland Distillery up in Donaghadee, County Down. And one of the first whiskeys they released was a single grain. Now this is sourced. They released a blended whiskey. I think it's the other one, a single malt. No, it's just blended. And then they released a single grain as a way to make some funds, to have some money coming in while their own stock was maturing. So this is the Copeland. This is a 5-year single grain Irish whiskey. This is Great Northern. And this one is 46% ABV. This is aged in American bourbon barrels and finished in a muscatel hogshead and a PX sherry butt. So again, a little bit different finish. I like this one quite a bit. I go to this one pretty often. A little UK sticker on there. Got this at the distillery. It's a fun distillery. If you've not had the opportunity to visit, it's just a cute little town. I really enjoy this one. I like the color. It's very pretty. Little lighter than the previous one. The nose on this is so pretty. Whole lot of orange coming off of this from that PX cask. It's fruity, but you definitely got it reminds me of those jellied candy oranges slices, like those little orange wedges, and they're like rolled in sugar. That's kind of what the nose reminds me of. It's definitely like a candied orange note. Really sweet. Not as tropical as the others that we've had tonight. This one is a little more vanilla. That chocolate from the PX is coming through a little more like almondy, like honey. Oh, you guys are so cool. We should all have a meetup in Ireland. That'd be fun. I actually owe my husband a trip to Scotland before we go back to Ireland. He postponed it so I could go back to Ireland again. So I got to take him to Islay. And I think we're going to do it next year. Or I'm planning it. I'll definitely hit you guys up. Help me plan where we should fly into and what tour. It's one of those things I think, because I'm so not familiar with Scotland, I would just want to pay a tour or pay to get over there and go. Like, I don't know if I'd navigate myself. I'm just not that familiar with it. Ireland, we're starting to get it familiar enough that I don't think I'd be all right. Taking trains and getting around, we'd figured out just fine. But yeah, Scotland, I'm not quite there. Although I'm still thinking about that ferry. There is a 3-hour ferry from Scotland to Belfast. So I'm gonna have to do that. And just fly. That way I could get some Ireland time in Belfast. Oh yeah, Roy at Aquavite. Yeah, I definitely will have to hit up. I'll have to hit up Roy. I'll have to hit up Leanne from Scotch on the Bayou too. I need to have Leanne back on as a guest. Actually, we could do a Scotch, another Scotch flight. I have spoken with her since her move. They're doing very well, still getting stuff set up. You know, when you move, especially you move across. I have not moved across states. Um, I can't even imagine. I know that just the freaking amount of work it took to move across the city, one city. I can't even imagine moving across states. Um, so I know it takes a lot to settle in, but and the good thing is she's a lot closer to me now. So we probably will be down in Tennessee. Probably, I don't know if we'll get there this year, probably next year. And yeah, I'll definitely have to pop in and see Leanne. Isla would be cool, but I would be camping out in Campbelltown. Yeah, he is. My husband's a big Lagavulin fan, like big Lagavulin fan, and he likes the Isla. So we're probably gonna go there, and I don't know if we'll have time to hit everything. But hey, cheers, William Hall. How are you doing? We have a bed sit and breakfast I can recommend. Hey, Bobby, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Hey, Mark, Northwest Bourbon. Cheers to you. How are you guys doing? Mark, you actually, that reminds me, next week I am going to be doing Patreon giveaway again. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to think about it. But I'll do a Patreon giveaway again next week. My last winner was 21090. I'm gonna have to make this one a good one. I'm gonna have to bust out some good bottles. You could go to Erin to get to Campbelltown to Isla on the ferry. Then you should ferry to Mull, and from Mull to Ardnamurchan. I have been wanting to try actually some Ardnamurchan. I've heard it is. I've not heard nothing but good things about that place. Heard absolutely nothing but good things. Yeah, I honestly I don't even know if like it's easier to fly into Glasgow or to Edinburgh. I assume it's probably like Ireland where it's just as easy to fly into either. Um, we fly into Dublin, and people said like flying to Shannon, Dublin's kind of crazy. Dublin's actually not that bad an airport to get around in. We did not fly directly into Belfast because Belfast is a smaller airport. So we would have actually, and our airport here is smaller. We don't have like customs and immigration or anything in our airport. So we always have to fly to a connecting airport. So we would have had to fly to a connecting airport in a major city like Detroit or Boston, and then fly to Heathrow, and then connect to Belfast. Whereas from here, we could just make one connection and land in Dublin, and just get on a train. So we just do it because it's easier. And honestly, we could have just drove to Cleveland or Indianapolis and had a direct flight to Dublin. Oh, imagine a near or distant future gathering of us U.S. contingent in Ireland. That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. I could guarantee we could get into a distillery. I know a couple people who would make that happen for us. That would be so much fun too. The two are not that different for travel, but Glasgow is a place to leave for Campbelltown and through the islands. Okay. That helps actually a lot. Edinburgh or Glasgow are equal to head north to the Highlands. Thank you, Sugar Kitty. That's actually really helpful. That's good to know because I was actually leaning towards Edinburgh, but if Glasgow is the easier place to try to keep it easy. All right, let me. Yeah, I got plenty of time. Let me think what we got to pour next. You know what? Let's get into some cask strength Irish green whiskey because it does come in. All of these that I've poured so far have been lower ABV. The highest one has been, I think, 50%. I didn't pour that one, but the highest one that I poured is 46%. That one was 50%. So these have all been a little bit lower. And it can go higher. Let's try. Let's see if I still hate this one. Now, this is I've got some Cooley, older Cooley single grain, and I have liked it. And I'm remembering actually another bottle. Yeah, there's another two stacks that I actually could have poured that I also completely forgot about. That I have yet another grain whiskey. Every time I turn around, I'm remembering another one because the 13-year Cooley grain that is finished in rosé champagne casks is sitting over there, and I completely forgot about that one. So, but we're gonna try this one and see if I hate it. Still hate it. Oh, Iceland Air goes to Glasgow, and then they have the 5-day free stopover in Reykjavik. That would be really cool. I've wanted to go to Iceland. I think that would be amazing. Hey, Donald Rance, cheers to you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Oh, Mrs. Bad Axe and her mom are going to Dublin in June, and then to Italy from there to go see Bobby Bad. Aw. You should send Mrs. Bad Axe through the Dublin duty free. If she's going back through on her way back, as soon as you go through security, there is a massive duty free that you're already cleared, so you can go through and shop, and then they'll just put it in a special sealed bag, and you can carry it, even if you're connecting. You can carry it with you. Living proof. Brought home 2 bottles. I would have brought home more, but I did not really have any more room. All right, I'm not going to pour a lot of this because, like I said, I didn't enjoy it when I first poured it. And to me, it just came off like corn pudding, like really like corn pudding. So this one is 63.1% ABV. I don't, well, actually, no, I can't say that. I do know what this is made of. This mash bill is 92% corn, and then the rest is malted barley. I forgot I looked that up before this. So yeah, 63.11% ABV. Highest ABV of the ones that I have tonight, but I actually do have another single grain Liberator bottle that is a higher ABV. Oh, no problem, no problem. And yeah, there's some good Irish in there to get. I'm gonna do a video actually of I've been thinking about it and I've just been busy and been frankly lazy and I suck and need to get it out. Um, of bottles to pick up if you're traveling through duty free over there. But I mean, they do have some American. I don't know if you're gonna find really anything you want to get, but Scotch and Irish, there's some great airport exclusives to grab. Hey, cheers, Dave. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. All right. This one is, I will say, I'm getting more fruit off this one this time. Before it was just all like corn and vanilla. So I am getting that Madeira cast coming through a little more. I have not had Hyde whiskey. I need to try that too. I think they have some, I think there's some Hyde at the party source. I'll have to look. If it's still there, I'm gonna run down there and get some, Donald, because I'll be through there in just a couple months. And I need to pick some up if that's the case. Because I've heard good things about Hyde. And I think they do. I think they have Pierce Lyons and Hyde down there. Yeah, and this one has it's just that ethanol is still coming through from the proof. Yeah, still don't like it. Ooh. So this drink's hot. It does drink really, really hot. Um, and it's not as sweet as the others. Now the taste has diminished. I was right; it has diminished quite a bit since I first got this. I will probably pull this one just to try to finish the bottle, make sure it gets finished before it depletes any more than that. But it's not as sweet, and it's got a lot of vanilla, so it comes off like corn pudding. It's not At least it's not as savory as I was getting. When I first opened it, that was all. I just couldn't get past it. I mean, it's super oily too. Whew. Yeah. And that one, if I remember right, I did have to add water to that just because it does drink really hot. I know, it's 63%. It's 126 proof, but I've got some Knob Creek single barrels that I can drink, and I've got a lot of the 120-ish range downstairs for the bourbons, and I don't have to add water to those. This one I remember having to add water to, but I also remember the water made that corn pudding note pop more. You picked up a Laphroaig PX at duty free at the Istanbul airport. Oh, a nice 1 liter. That's a good one. I think my favorite pickup from the airport, and actually a friend of mine was going to the airport. I'm gonna have her pick me up one, is the Black Bush, the 80/20, the Bushmills 80/20 there. It's an 80/20 with PX sherry, and it comes in a liter, and I think it's only like $23, something crazy like that. Oh, hey, Ben. Cheers to you. We were just talking about you hoping you would pop in. I hope your trip's going good. Tell everybody in Indiana I said hi. Oh, the 18. All right, Donald, I'll look for that one, the 1860. I'll look and see if they have that one. There are like 6 different Hyde whiskeys at BSW in Alberta. None are very expensive. I remember seeing it, and I remember them not being that expensive. I just didn't end up, I think because there were so many, I just ended up grabbing one. I don't remember what that one was. I think that one was a chocolate. I've got so many poured, I don't even remember what they all are. So, yeah, Ben, you just missed it. We are trying this. I don't think I've had you try this one. I might have. The 2 stacks, 12-year single grain that is finished in California Madeira, 63%. And yeah, still don't like it. Didn't like it when I first got it and still don't like it. Now I have put that thing in a blind when it was still good. I put that thing in a blind. I sent some to Hello Again Whiskey Friends. I sent some to all 3 of them. They all loved it. And yeah, I just have never been a fan of that one. Anyway. Cheer saw driving with the son of my eyes, but 2 years old. I hope that is talk to text or something. $23 and slap in the face if you ask for it by name. It's the airport one we call 80/20. It goes by Bushmills 80/20. This tastes like crap your pen tasted. Right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know they considered it Blackbush until I went there and bought it. It was on the tin, but it's really, really good. Yeah, the M&M single grain. It is a different one. It's got a lot more spice to it than the others. And it's not as, I don't think it's as tropical fruity. It's got a little more orchard fruits to it, but I don't dislike it. I didn't care for the single malt, but it is different. I think all of the Method Madness are really different when they're tasting notes. Like the single pot still, I think tastes like freaking Twizzlers. He's toe texting. Yes, light voice to text, and you can't see the screen well enough with a glare to check it. Oh, okay. Yeah, be careful if you're driving. My pick is the Black Barrel, from what I recall. So we are jumping into another grain whiskey. Now, this is a very special one that I have that was an Ireland exclusive. There weren't many of these made. Maurice O'Connell, who's the owner of the Liberator, got in touch with me, and I got the first 2 that he released. The other one is grain, and he's trying to do an experiment to see how cask finishing changes the whiskey dynamic. It's exactly the same whiskey, grain whiskey, and all of these. But that one, the other one I have is finished in cream sherry. This one is finished in a ruby port cask, and obviously a very fresh ruby port cask, as you can see based on the color. So let me pour a little of this one out. This one, we're dropping back down just a little bit, 59% ABV. Put this down because I could totally see me making a complete mess and have this going everywhere. Now, just to show again what cask does to this grain whiskey, it's night and day between a bourbon cask and ruby port cask. And these are both naturally colored. So this one was, like I said, it was a grain project that Wayward Irish Spirits is doing. So they did 6 casks of the same 2015 single grain whiskey from Great Northern. They brought them all together, and then they did 3 different cask types for the finishing. So there's going to be one more in this series. Like I said, this is a ruby port. I also have a cream sherry, and then I'm not sure what the third is going to be yet. I don't think he's announced that quite yet. This is called Edition 1.2. The cream sherry was 1.1. It has spent 19 months finishing in a fresh ruby port cask sourced direct from the Quinta. So it has a cask number on here. I'm really excited to have this bottle. I need to do a Liberator stream. I need to reach out to Morris and see if he would be interested in coming on a stream. And we'll just start. Obviously, I'm not going to drink through all of them because they even go beyond what you can see here. So, but I think we could. I think I'll see if we can get through a few of the special ones. Move this over a bit. And see if he'd be willing to come on and talk about them, because I've got a few of the special ones here. Now, if you've got the Liberator, the double port, that has some of the grain whiskey from Great Northern that's in there. So the bottle right here, that is made up of malt and grain whiskey. Ooh, a ton of red berries on this. Very different than any of the other Irish single grain that we have. Yeah, light bourbon at best. Yeah, those, the bourbon cast finishes are they're light, but they're supposed to be. I try to tell people, this is what it's supposed to look like. And even with an older single pot still or something like that, a bourbon cast finish, I mean, it's going to be light. It's not going to be very dark. It's not like a sherry finish. So there's nothing wrong with it. It is supposed to be that light. It doesn't distract from the whiskey. It doesn't, but it always takes people back because they think it's not going to taste like a lot because it's so light. And actually, it's not the case. There's usually a lot of good flavor in there, especially the older ones. I think 21. No, that's not a single grain though. I think my oldest bourbon finished whiskey, I think it's 21 years old. All the color went into the bourbon. Yep. There you go. They couldn't, yeah. They couldn't leave enough. I wonder I wonder if it would matter how wet the cask was with the bourbon. It probably would to an extent. That was your take on Jameson Black Barrel? What's that, James? That it was yeah, Jameson Black Barrel actually it comes off very bourbony, but by intention, because it's a recharge cask. So you are going to get those vanillins coming out more. That's another one actually for bourbon drinkers. Although the proof is, I've not had the opportunity to try the Jameson cask strength, the Black Barrel cask strength, but the Black Barrel proof is very good. This one is so good. It's a little younger, so you do get a little bit of a hot finish on it. More of those tropical notes, those vanilla, almost like a lychee, or like a kiwi. Definitely, it's got some red berries. It's kind of got like a blackberry coming through or like a strawberry. So you're definitely getting that port influence. Little bit of spice. The finish lingers a little bit longer than some of the others. Oh, very soft bourbon notes, not the malt heavy. On Black Barrel, yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Black Barrel, well, Black Barrel doesn't have malt in it at all. Not malt whiskey. Black Barrel's a grain and single pot still one, but or you might be talking about to Anthony about that Scotch. Oh, you guys are drinking Balvenie. We had is it Balvenie double? Is it Doublewood? I think is the one we had. Is there Balvenie Doublewood? It was some woody Balvenie. That was one of the ones we had. So the other big cat, the one big cast type that I think I've got the most Irish finished in, which I've got 3 different bottles. I don't do maybe a side by side sometime. Oh, the 12-year Doublewood, okay. For some reason is rye. And I honestly don't know if I think part well, I don't know if it's I mean, it's American. It goes, if it's most like bourbon, you've got a corn whiskey finished in a rye cask. But I actually think because single grain Irish is very sweet. If you don't like a super sugary sweet whiskey, some of these aren't as sweet, but it tends to be a lot sweeter. And the one thing is the rye cask really does kind of help balance it. The latest one I have actually is also from the Liberator. It's way over there. I grab it. Is a new release that they had. Now it's up there. It's like I think it's 65% ABV, and it is a grain whiskey that was finished in a rye cask from Catoctin Creek. And I really do enjoy it. But she's hot. So it's not one that I go to super often, but I'm gonna have to pull that one sometime, and maybe I'll do a side by side of those, of that the 2 stacks rye cask, the JJ Corey rye cask, and the Liberator rye cask. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Yeah, 12-year Doublewood. Yeah, we had a bottle of that. My husband did like it. I don't think it was his favorite. He tends to gravitate of the ones he's got. He likes Avalor. I think he's had Dalwhinnie, Avalor. Those are the ones that I think he's outside of the Lagavulin, of course. I think those are the ones he's like more than others. I don't think he didn't like the Balvenie as much. I got him a Highland Park 12. He likes it, but they used to have another bottle from Highland Park that I don't think they have anymore, and he really liked that one. And he doesn't like the 12 as much. All right. It is almost time for Kilco stream, so I'm gonna wrap it up. So next week, we're gonna do a Patreon giveaway. I'm gonna do a stream for my birthday my birthday's on Thursday, but we're gonna stream on Sunday. I'm gonna pick some special pours. I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I know one of them's gonna be an Irishman 17 because I see my bottle on the floor over there and it's getting low and I haven't had it in a while. So I'm gonna pull that Irishman 17 out and I'm gonna have to pull some other special bottles out. So I hope to see you guys all next week. Now, make sure you check out. I'm not sure if Kilco's going live tonight. I haven't seen him in chat, but check out Anthony Bourbon EFI. He is going to be going live at 7:30 tonight, and I will see you all next Sunday. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon.